y'all, it's Courtney, and I am back with another video. And as you can see, I've got my base makeup on today, but that's it, because we are going to be doing a makeup and bitching video. Because, you know, it's just boring just standing here and bitching by itself, so I was like, you know what, I'll just put on some makeup while I'm at it, and kill two birds with one stone. So, today we're going to talk about the fucking straight up Twilight Zone that 2020 has been. And I want you guys to get in on this with me. Because I know this isn't just me. I have heard it from everybody. Like, what the hell? You know? 2020 in the history books just isn't going to exist. Like, 2021 has so much making up to do for this bullshit that was 2020. So get in on this with me. You guys complain and bitch and get it off your chest in my comment section. What's happened to you this year that just... It's like, of course it happened this year. Of course this would happen this year specifically. Like, what else happened to you guys? I want to know, because it helps to talk about things, right? Sometimes it helps to just, you know, wallow in your own self-pity. You know, sometimes talking things out helps. So, I'm going to talk about everything that's happened this year, and I want you to do the same in my comment section. I reply to every comment that I get, unless I get, you know, distracted. Sometimes I don't, I'll forget that I uploaded a video, and I'll forget to check those comments. But if that ever happens, don't take it personally. Eventually, I will go and remember that I forgot to check those comment section. So, yeah. But yeah, I want to hear about your guys' 2020. What has happened to you guys that has just been like, of course this would happen right now. So, I'm just going to start with this week specifically, because this week has just been something else, and that's why this video idea popped up to begin with, is because, like, it's just been one thing after another this week. It's been one thing after another all year, but this week, it's just been... We're into the 11th month of the year, so it's been it's been well over a year of this shit. For me, the Twilight Zone started in November 2019, when my dog died. And ever since then, things have just... So it's been exactly a year for me that things have just been, like, Twilight Zone. But specifically, just this week, first, my cat went missing. She is an indoor cat, but she was kind of, you know, testing the waters, because she's a feral cat. So she is she likes it outside, but she's not been here long enough to be completely comfortable yet. We've had her for like 2 or 3 months. So finally, we start letting her out, you know, for like, you know, 20, 30 minutes at a time. She doesn't go out for any longer than an hour. Well, she went out the other night and has not come back since. We're hoping that, you know, somebody either found her, and because she's very skinny, she was very, well, you guys have seen the videos. She was so malnourished that she could barely walk when we got her. She's doubled in weight since we got her, but she's still malnourished because she was so underweight that even doubling her weight has not, you know, made her gain enough weight. So we're really worried about her. We're hoping that somebody got a hold of her, like took her in their house or something, because they thought that she didn't have an owner because she is so skinny, which I'm guessing that's what happened. But I don't know. I've been looking for her. I've been calling for her. I go outside and check for her like 30 times a day. I've walked the woods. I don't know. So later that same day that I realized that she was missing, the stupid tree fell and crushed our shed and the bunny hutch and the fence, and, you know, damaged my neighbor's cars. And so that happened, which luckily it missed our house, but we're realizing now that the pressure that the tree was putting on our house is sinking our house. And do you know why that is, kids? Y'all know how I've been complaining for like ever that we've been begging them to put in a ditch or a bypass so that the water doesn't lay under our house anymore? Yeah, well, that's why that tree fell, because the roots rotted from being wet all the time. Yep, that's what happened. The roots rotted. So what do you think is going to happen to all these other trees in my yard where the water lays even worse than on the hillside? Now I'm really afraid. So there's that. So like I said, now our house seems to be sinking, which, you know, I'm just so over it. I did not want to let go of this place for the longest because this is my childhood home, you know. My parents made this, it's a trailer, but you know what? They made this place a home, a beautiful home. My dad was constantly doing something to make this house nicer, planting gardens. We had a koi pond on the porch. We have 4 decks. My dad was always just building and building and building. You know, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a laundry room house. So, you know, it's a trailer, yes, but it's a good sized one. But it's just to the point now, you know, trailers only last so long. They're not like a house. They're not going to stand for 100 years. They're, what's the word I'm looking for? Not permanent, basically. They're a for now type thing. And my for now is up because we're just putting so much extra into this place every month that we could literally be paying a house payment. By the time we fix one thing, 3 more things are breaking. And it's because it's time for this place to go. You know what I mean? I think somebody would live here. Well, I know somebody would live here because this place is a lot better than a lot of the places around here in this neighborhood. Some of them, I'm like, how does anybody live there? But, you know, when you don't have much of a choice, you'll figure it out, you know? I get it. Some people have to live there because they don't have a lot of money, so they don't have a lot of choices. So yeah, and it's nice and quiet down in here, so it's a nice area. Just some of the places down in here, I don't know. Yeah, this one's much better, so somebody will buy it or rent it, whatever we decide to do. But I'm just ready to go. A lot of memories here. I wish that it was worth it to stay, but it's just not. So anyways, that happens, then that freaking crazy-ass storm came right after that whiteout storm. There's been 2 hurricanes in 1 damn week, which was what was causing all the winds. What else happened that day? Something else happened that day, and I'm forgetting. Anyways, then my husband calls me this morning and goes, hey, I'm on my way home. Find the Band-Aids and the peroxide and stuff. And I'm like, why? What's going on? And he never calls me. He'll text me while he's at work. He'll text me like 3 or 4 times to like, 50 times that I message him. But I was like, why? What's going on? And he calls me, and he says, so yeah, I was plugging this cord in today, and I got electrocuted. And I'm like, what? So he gets home and shows me, and he's literally got 3 burnt fingers, and each tip of his finger is split open. This one has like a square looking place on it, and it's cut, like just split open. And then this finger's split open the deepest. And, not only did he get electrocuted for 15 to 20 seconds, he said it was anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds, and he couldn't let go. So he was electrocuted. And the guy that he was working with ran in there and just kind of stood there and stared because, of course, he didn't know what to do. You can't blame him because I would, what do you do? You can't touch him because then you'll get electrocuted too. So I understand. But at the same time, it's like, he's just like dazed. He did not know what to do. Not that I would have known what to do, but, so yeah, he got electrocuted. Not only did he get electrocuted, but the electricity came out exited his body through his vape that was in his other hand. He had the plug in his left hand and he had his vape in the other hand. And yeah, so the electricity exited through his hand, through the vape that's metal, and busted the tank. And now he's having to buy another vape, another tank. Oh my God, it's been a week. But it's not only been a week, it's been a freaking year, man. Like I said, I know everybody is going through it. So I'm aware that I am not the only one dealing with shit right now. So don't take this video as, oh, feel bad for me, because I know everybody's going through it right now. I do know that. But I just think it's healthy sometimes just to get it off your chest. And, my husband already knows all this stuff. And I don't really have any in real life friends. I don't really talk to anybody. So, you guys are going to hear it. You're welcome. And I apologize at the same time. What kind of look should I do today? I was thinking something yellow and like sunny. Maybe with like this color in the crease. I don't know. So yeah, this year started out shitty. And as I said, I know, it's not just me. Everybody's going through it. But for me, it started out really shitty. Because I think December 30th was when I had my first seizure. When I had that, like, really bad, I had, like, really bad headaches, and, what are those called? Cluster headache. I had a cluster headache, and I think that my body, because I'd never had one before, I think my body just kind of crapped out because it didn't know what to do. It was like, does not compute, and I had a seizure. I had a couple seizures. And so even New Year's last year, this year, I spent in a blur. Like, I don't even remember if I stayed up for the ball. I don't remember any of it. I remember very little from like a week around that time. I remember I uploaded a video. I don't remember what I said in it. I'm pretty sure I was pretty groggy and weird. So, and I'm just going through the big things that are sticking out to me right now. There's been shit in between that I don't even, I'm not even thinking about because they weren't like big events, I'm trying to figure out a color to wear today. So I'm not going with this one. I love that one. I love that color. It's so pretty. Super duper pretty. I'm getting some stuff to test today, so actually I'm gonna have that lavender color right there with that silver glitter stuff that I have. That would be really pretty, wouldn't it? So then the whole situation with Patience's grandmother going fucking insane happened when she got real sick, and she was swinging a gun around, and we're pretty sure that she had COVID. And this was in like February, I believe. And I honestly believe that COVID was here long before they, finally admitted that it was here, because Chinese New Year, I think they said like 3 million people came back to our country around, Chinese New Year or the end of Chinese New Year. So you can't tell me that there was no cases. And a lot of people, in West Virginia go back and forth from China. And I'm going to say, oh, it's only Chinese people have it, because we all know that that's not true. So I'm not even going to get into that, like, it's Chinese people's fault. That's not what we're talking about here. So, I'm pretty sure she had that, and then we caught it. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I lost my voice for like 2 or 3 weeks. I only could talk like this. And I suffered from like breathing issues for quite a while after that. Like, I couldn't hardly breathe. Yeah, we're gonna go with this purpley color. And that was crazy. I had another health scare too. Oh, I was also in the hospital this summer. Well, was it spring, summer, somewhere around there. Because my gallbladder was so infected that they couldn't even stick a tube in it to drain it. So I had to be on antibiotics for 4 or 5 days. I was in the hospital for 4 nights, 5 days. I think it was 4 nights, 5 days. Pretty sure that's what it was. My grandfather died. He literally had a tumor in his throat, and his carotid, what is that? The big vein that goes through here, the artery that goes through here. Is it your carotid artery? But the tumor was eating through that artery, and he had a coughing fit, and it finally snapped that artery, and he had a trach in, and he bled to death out of his trach within 15 seconds. So that was really, really traumatic. I have never let death really bother me that much because so many people in my life have died. Death has always been a constant companion of mine. Death and loss. So I've gotten used to losing people. Well, I don't think you ever get used to losing people, but it became not surprising when I would lose somebody. But me getting sick, and getting this whole new understanding of just how easy life can be over, that's another thing that hit me this year after all that situation, because I guess I had never really even thought about it before. Obviously I know everybody dies. That's part of dying, is part of living, or part of life cycles, I should say, or the circle of life, whatever you want to call it. But I just never really thought about myself and dying put together, because I was young. I had no health issues. Why would I think about that? Why would that be something that I worry about when it wasn't really a worry at the time? But after, having my seizures and stuff, and how worried Mike was, he really, the way I'll put this, the one good thing that came out of my seizures was my husband and I have never been so close. We have never loved each other as much as we do now. We have never appreciated each other as much as we do now. Our relationship is like a million times the relationship it was before I had my seizures, because it just brought us closer, because we realized that, our time is limited together, and spending our time mad at each other or arguing or whatever, why do that? That's just wasting precious time when we only have a limited amount of time together as it is, So if 2020 has done one thing, it has brought my husband and I together. And that I will not deny. That I will always appreciate. Me getting sick / the craziness of 2020. That's the one good thing that